Union conference. This is the California Teachers Association, the largest public school teachers union in California. And at that conference, among other things, it was recently held in Palm Springs last month, among other things, they discussed, they were given instruction on the surveilling of students and deception of parents for, encouraging their inclusion in LGBTQ clubs. The most alarming thing to me was that they were reading and encouraging other teachers to look at children's Google searches. One child, they said, had Googled Transgender Day of Awareness. He wanted to know, this child wanted to know what that was. And they had said, we need to make sure to invite that child back for, that child receives a personal invitation to the LGBTQ club. So the fact that they were targeting children for these personal invitations to their club is very concerning, and that they were coaching other teachers in the surveillance of students for this purpose is really not something we usually see. These were middle schoolers. These were sixth graders they were talking about surveilling, and they were talking about targeting, kids as young as we're talking about 11-year-olds for personal invitations to the LGBTQ club based on these children's internet searches. They talk about not taking roll, so that when parents ask, is my child in this club, they can, basically plead ignorance. And not keeping records of this club. They said, effectively that, if you want to bring a new society into existence, it seems the way to start that is with children. And so they are, activist teachers are actively looking to recruit other people's children in their revolution. You have to ask yourself, if teachers are willing to make these remarks in a broad address, a sold out conference, what are they doing that we don't know about? Unfortunately, there's been a lot of naivete and much of it, well-intentioned on the part of Americans. I think we, broadly, certainly support things like, a gay club that would be a safe haven for students. And in middle school or high school, but unfortunately, these spaces have been exploited by activist teachers who have done so much as direct students not to repeat anything that is said in that club. And parents really need to tell their middle school students or high school students, no teacher should ever tell you to keep a secret from your parents. We've seen more gender confusion among this young generation than we've ever seen before. I think the confusion is really the thing to look at. These young kids, this is not organic. This is not something that naturally would occur on its own. We are seeing coaching and deliberate confusion of our young kids when it comes to gender identity, and it really isn't doing them very much good.
California public school teachers caught trying to recruit young students into alphabet cult clubs. A leaked recording from a recent California Teachers Association, CTA, conference exposed multiple public school teachers for trying to indoctrinate and groom their students into joining the alphabet cult clubs like the GSA Alliance. At least two 7th grade teachers from Buena Vista Middle School in Salis, California, were heard mocking parents for their concerns over the alphabet mafia brainwashing. They were also heard discussing tactics for manipulating their students into supporting the alphabet agenda. It was horrifying to listen to not just one teacher, but really all of the teachers in all of these seminars excoriating parents, said the leaked source, who goes by the pseudonym Rebecca Murphy. Murphy reportedly attended the Teachers Union conference back in late October and was appalled by what she heard. They laughed at the parents, Murphy explained. Nothing that public school teachers seem to think they know better. Noting that the public school teachers seem to think they know better than their students, parents, what is best for them. The sold-out conference, which was billed as the 2021 Alphabet Mafia Issues Conference, Beyond the Binary Identity and Imagining Possibilities, took place from October 29th to 31st. For the past 2 years, the CTA has also been holding seminars on sexual orientation and gender identity, SOGI, professional development training events, and event notice posed on the United Teachers of Los Angeles website asks teachers, do you have the courage to create a safe environment that fosters bravery to explore sexual orientation, gender identity, and expression? You want to give all this for what? 11-year-olds? That don't make any sense. It just doesn't. Public school teachers want parents who refuse to use gender pronouns to be arrested and charged with child abuse. Most recent conference, which was held in Palm Springs, was even more devious in that its goal was to strategize a way to undermine parental authority and rope children into a lifestyle of the alphabet mafia, or at least the full acceptance of it. One specific agenda item at the conference involved discussions about how to handle parents who refuse to use alternative gender identity pronouns for their children and their friends. Some of the teachers suggested arresting and charging non-compliant parents with child abuse. 3 of the classes held at the conference were also centered around recruiting more children into GSA clubs so they can be further brainwashed into the alphabet mafia. The overarching theme of the classes that I attended were California teachers instructing other teachers on how to sneak into alphabet mafia curriculum in a manner that does not alert parents, Murphy said. The 2 teachers from Buena Vista Middle School led a workshop called How We Run GSA in Conservative Communities. In it, discussions were had about how to conceal from parents the full depth of what takes place in GSA clubs. An audio clip exposed a teacher for advising other teachers about how to maintain an air of plausible deniability, meaning how to play dumb in the event that a parent starts asking questions. In other words, gaslighting. Pretty much. Because we are not official, we have no club rosters, said the teacher who leads a Alphabet Mafia club at her public school. We keep no records. In fact, sometimes we don't really want to keep records. If parents get upset that their kids are coming, we're like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe they came. We would never want a kid to get in trouble for attending if the parents are upset. The second teacher backed up the first one, further revealing strategies to disguise the GSA cult clubs as innocuous. This second teacher also chose to name her GSA club UBU Club to make it more discreet. Previously, it was dubbed the Equity Club, which was apparently not conspicuous enough. So this is the nonsense that is going on now. All right. You can't trust the school staff to keep their beliefs to themselves and to, you want to be activists, do that on your own time with fully grown adults, not 11-year-olds, not middle schoolers. I keep telling, man, this is an agenda. Okay. And it's sad that it's gotten to this point due to people who want to side with this, the alphabet mafia. Okay. You want to live your lifestyle, you want to advocate for what you want to find, but you keep kids out of it. These parents have a right to know what their kids are learning in school and what is being taught, and not to have adults who are supposed to be trusted to educate their kids on what they need to learn. Okay. And not to tell their kids, don't tell your parents what's being taught here today. Parents should just pull their kids out of these schools who are doing this and start suing, because that is child abuse. And then you're trying to have parents arrested. Come to think of it, I remember this being talked about. I think it was the John Birch Society when Obama was running, and how this was part of the agenda. Wow. Anyway, tell me what you think in the comments. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. Later.